Employees Provident Fund Organization has slashed the interest rate on Provident Fund deposits from 8.5% to 8.1% in this financial year. This is the lowest since the past 4 decades. The EPFO has last predicted 8% in FY 71-78. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman defended the rate cut by saying that this interest rate is dictated by today's realities. So has EPF lost its appeal after the rate cut? Should investors still rely on EPF? And what are the other alternatives that people should look for their retirement? To understand all of this, we have with us Sanket Dhanokar from ETWell. He will help us understand the calculations better.
It's definitely going to have a lot of impact on your retirement calculations. So, just to give you an example, say at the earlier rate of 8.5%, a 30-year-old salaried employee with a basic monthly salary of around 30,000 would have fetched a corpus of roughly around 1.92 crore at the age of 60. Okay, assuming that he sees a 5% rise in his yearly contribution. Now, at the revised rate of 8.1%, that corpus is going to shrink lower to 1.8 crore. Now, that won't seem like much, but what we are assuming here is that 8.1% is also going to stay the same for the rest of the duration. That is clearly not going to be the case. If interest rates are going to go down lower, as we have seen in over the years. Now, let's assume again for a second that interest rates keep heading lower by 0.1% every year. So now the final corpus at retirement is going to go down even further, roughly around 1.3 crore by the age of 60. So from 1.92, you are down to 1.3, assuming rates keep going down. Does seem painful at the outset, but even if you look at the absolute interest rate even today, 8.1%, EPF is still the highest among comparable fixed income alternatives. What other options do you have at this rate? If you look at some of the options, Sukanya Samruddhi Yojana comes closest at 7.6%, but even that is purely meant for the girl child, right? Now there is the PPF, the Public Provident Fund, which is 7.1% tax-free, just like EPF, but as you can see, 1% lower, a full percent lower than what EPF offers. Other options simply don't measure up. Just look at your SBI 5-year fixed deposit, 5.5%. Post-tax, it will be even lower. So what you're looking at is EPF still continues to be the reigning champion. More importantly, right, if we look beyond the return, the tax benefits that EPF offers, it has other utility as well. So EPF is like a forced savings mechanism for the salaried class, right? Every month, 12% of your monthly basic pay is flowing into the Provident Fund along with a matching contribution by your employer, along with an element of employee pension scheme. So that is like a regular SIP that is going out of your salary. The EPF is like has a inbuilt step up kind of mechanism, right? Every year as your salary is increasing, contribution to your EPF is also increasing automatically. You're not doing anything. So this is very critical in amassing a sizable retirement corpus, and that is something that you need to keep in mind when you think about interest rates. The only caveat is that you should let your EPF corpus grow untouched until your retirement. Do not touch the corpus for any other needs. Do not withdraw, because the entire essence of EPS lies in letting the power of compounding work over the years. So, like I said earlier, it definitely threatens to disrupt your retirement calculations. You will likely see a shortfall in your corpus. So you do need to step up your contributions in some other manner. We can even consider investing more in the employee provident fund. You can do that by investing via the voluntary provident fund, where you are investing beyond your mandatory 12% contribution, or you can even consider some of the market-linked instruments like equity mutual funds or even the national pension scheme. Yeah, so VPF is basically an extension of the employee provident fund. As I said, lets you contribute beyond the 12% threshold. It fetches the same rate of return and enjoys the same tax exemption. However, there is a caveat now. Your contributions only up to rupees 2.5 lakh a year are tax exempt. So beyond this, all interest earned from your contributions are taxed at your slab rate. Okay. Even so, even with this, most financial planners insist that VPF continues to be a good investment vehicle to enhance your retirement corpus. So hiking your contribution to your provident fund may seem counterintuitive given that rates have declined. But actually, if you look at it from another angle, it is like compensating for the rate cut. Suppose you put 5% of your basic monthly pay over and above your mandatory 12% contribution via the VPF. That's going to create a bigger corpus for you. So let me give you an example. Now, if a 30-year-old is drawing roughly 30,000 a month basic salary and is putting in 5% additionally via the VPF every month, his final EPS corpus is going to grow from 1.3 crore, like we discussed earlier, to 1.6 crore. So that's a 30 lakh jump. This is again assuming that the salary increases by 5% every year. So as you can see, that's helping you enhance your contributions and build up that retirement equity. Contributions to the provident fund beyond 2.5 lakh are taxable. But that does not necessarily mean that it makes the EPF or even the VPF tax inefficient. Okay, it is just that the interest earned on your incremental contribution beyond rupees 2.5 lakh are now taxed. Let's just consider an example here. So if you are contributing, say rupees 3 lakh a year to the VPF, right? You will still effectively get a post-tax yield of 7.7% for someone in the 30% tax bracket. Even if you hike this contribution to 4 lakh rupees a year, the effective yield still remains 7.15%, which is still higher than what you get from the PPF, Public Provident Fund. So it is not as if you need to worry about your contributions above this limit. If you are a conservative investor and you only want risk-free options, there are no other alternatives for the same risk profile.